I do my very best. Don't ask me what happened. Let's see where we left off. So, thank you. I'm not even sure what was the last part that you heard, where I should catch up with. If in the chat someone could help me where we are standing, what I should continue with, please let me know. I think I was talking about the bottom part of the Phoenix card cases. The regular decks that you get in Phoenix, Bicycle, whatsoever, they have barcode on the bottom, correct? So that's something for retail business that you can certainly scan and sell in a supermarket, etc. Sure, we know all this, and we would have a QR code like this one here, right? However, I thought many years ago already to help you with an extra code. If I would now start marking the bottoms of the card cases with a certain 2-digit code, like MD for marked deck, or like this one, MP for my power deck, then you would be able to know which deck is inside, and nobody would know that you would use a trick deck or a specific deck. We have ST for stripper, we have SH for short, and so on and so on. BD for the beat the devil, and bold marked, and so on and so on. A lot of different boxes. Please don't forget to like this video as well, otherwise it will not be combined and I have to see how I can mux them later together. Anyhow, so I came up with something new because, as you know, I'm not allowed to use the air cushion finish writing anymore, and I had to make up to come up with a specific solution what I would now write onto the card cases. Now, as USPC is not producing casino quality anymore for me, because they say there is no more casino quality, everything would be top-notch. Fine, let's find out. Everything would be produced in the bicycle quality from now on. Okay. I cannot call these cards anymore casino quality. I don't want to if it's not. So we will find out. I am calling them Empire's Finest because that's the finest the Empire can do for now. And so here we go. What did he? There's my cursor on top. What DD stands for? Aha! Did you notice that one on the side? So here's the idea. The cards from Taiwan definitely have casino quality, so I'm calling them the new casino quality. And usually you see two different kinds of informations with a bullet point in the center, right? Earlier it was this high-grade finish or the air cushion finish that you're familiar with, what I'm not allowed to say anymore. And now I came up with an idea, why not doing information like this one here, like a DD, or like this one here, an MP. That's the newest productions of all the new decks of cards. And this is giving away the same code that is on the bottom. However, not as present, not as bold as you might think, because this is something a spectator would be able to see, and I don't want him to stare at big markings. But it would tell me the code that of the deck that is inside. In this particular case, the My Power deck is also now having the MP on the side. The DD stands for the double decker, so in this is a double decker deck. So the thin cards would be in here, and you would know, okay, these are the thin cards. Certainly the double decker is so universal that it's difficult to put some markings on the bottom. Oh, did I? When the stream stopped, I ran over everything here. So so when I take the double deckers and make them to something very special, like the Get Sharky, like the Destiny deck, and so on, then I could not change all the card cases at the bottoms. That would be a nightmare for me. So these decks will not work like this, but if I am specifically producing a deck of cards with a certain treatment, like the All Alone has AA on the bottom, I now have produced a new deck with Luis de Matos that has the SV at the bottom. What could that be? It's the Svengali. And that is a very, very specific Svengali deck that Luis de Matos and I developed. He was already selling them at the Illusionists tour. It's way more than just a normal Svengali deck. And he has done a compendium, a full compendium about the Svengali deck. It's a big project for him and very important, because when we started doing magic, then it was always the beginner's deck. The first one that ended up in our drawer, because we are doing the whole effect, all different cards. Now all the cards are identical, nobody can touch the deck, and that's it. And that's the worst presentation you can do with the deck. However, that's exactly how all the pitchers, the pitching guys were doing when selling these decks to non-magicians on the trade shows, etc. And this is not how a Svengali deck should be treated. Now, Luis developed, I think, altogether 50 different routines in 50 different levels, because the Svengali deck that we created has certain features that only the Phoenix deck has. And yeah, it's a big tool. And actually, I think I was already too early for my time, because back then I released this deck very quick, very short. Back then it was called the Mark Shark deck. Exactly the same deck, the Mark Shark deck, together with Mark Elston. And once I showed it, I fooled people like crazy. Once they figured out, oh, it's a Svengali deck. Interest lost. So it was the wrong approach. The deck was the same. However, I think the teaching of Luis de Matos is what makes the whole project so different. We are right now in the beginning of everything. I got the first decks in, the rest is on the ship on a container coming over to Germany and America, so that we would be able to allow this one as well. This will be a secret weapon for you. If you use a Svengali deck wisely, wow, just wow. So please expect something very strong there. And yeah, this one will have the SV at the bottom. I'm really excited about this one, about the first cooperation with Luis de Matos. I hope it's not the last one, because there's something else I would love to release with him. Let's work on this one. Yeah, and therefore, is there any more questions regarding the decks of cards right now? Because I already explained everything also in the German stream, and I'm a little bit confused. Did I tell everything? Did I miss something? Here's the thing. In case you want to know even more, there's a specific website that I created for all the guys who want to learn more about the Phoenix deck. And this website is called releasethepower.com. 3 words, release-the-power.com. This is not connected to Phoenix deck or phoenixdeck.com or cardshark.de, so that a spectator who would have gotten a Phoenix deck as a gift or whatsoever would not be able to find out all the secrets. It's stored away. It's just for us magicians. And you can find out where's the one-way design on the backs, where's the one-way design on the faces, and so on and so on. That's all included. What is Frank saying? Speaking of special decks, can you also get the decks for CIB individually in the future? After a lot of practice, you need a new one for demonstrations. That is a very, very good point. Yes, it's a lot of manual work, as you know. And you are giving me an idea right now. Frank, isn't that it's a double stripper, right? I think it's a double stripper. I might have an idea for this. I already spoke with what's her name? Yep, the present. Damn, Duvivier with Miss Duvivier, Alexandra. And yeah, I would be allowed also to sell the decks separately or together with the card in bag of them, so that you then would be able to get the Phoenix deck specially made for the card in bag. I'm looking now to the side here because right now there in the back of my warehouse I see the products that I brought back home with me from the FISM convention where I met Alexandre and took some of them. I have an idea for this. It might just be something for blue Phoenix decks, not for red, but for blue Phoenix decks. But I could imagine doing it in a small run for this, because it's a lot of work. I would not like to do this, that I would take a regular deck of cards and cut twice, because there's always a lot potential for errors and discrepancy in the cutting. So I would prefer having only one cut to be made at the top and not on the side. We produced beautiful stripper decks back then with USPC. We have still a lot of stock in blue standard index or classic index, and on these decks I might be able to cut the top half to provide the right decks for the card in bag. If this would be of interest, let me know here in the chat, or better, leave it down in the comments. Everybody who joined me on this second stream, the first one as well, but now being here again for the second stream, so much for coming around, spending the time with me. It means a lot to me that that I'm allowed to talk with you here in your living room, on your phone or on your screen. And this is not just given. That's something. Thank you so much that you chose spending the time with me. And if you are seeing this not live but later in a recording, then please write down a comment what you would love to see in the next few weeks, what is missing, what you'd like to know more about the Phoenix decks, etc. I'm happy to show and explain you everything. And yeah, thank you so much. All together, thank you. See you next week, next Monday. I wish you now a very calm Christmas time. I think here in Germany we already started the first Advent. So yeah, enjoy the time with your family, etc. And see you next week. Until then, bye bye.